got to see what that is. And we'll have student leaders working with us so that when we choose, people can say, yeah, they've got the best. They've got the best we can find. To come in and look at that system, the system that I have believed was just fine because I saw it working. But if there are problems with it, if there are gaps in there, the one problem I see is that we didn't do enough communicating with students to say, these are the things we're doing. These are the opportunities where students can give us some input. Or these are the people who are being trained. There are people all over this campus who've gone through year after year of training. And yet, one of the things you say in here that I think is very important is that we need to do more training. I heard things about, at every level, I heard wonderful trends saying that somebody in the custodial staff had been insulting in the bathroom, which makes the point. It's not just professional staff, it's up and down the line. We need the training so people understand how to respect people, how to be supportive. So we were learning things yesterday, and I'm learning things today, and that is what is different. I'm listening.
President
Yes,
Hrabowski, if I may, briefly, as like an organizer of the event,
Yes.
something that I'm thinking
Yeah.
is that like the training that you tout and the process what you tout,
Right.
I think you have to realize that it can't so much be on the university's terms. Like I think it's clear because there's been such a gross violation of student trust and such like an endemic systemic cover-up and of like sexual violence that I don't think that you can trust the university or yourself, as it were, to like be the ones to organize training and to be the ones to organize a response, because who exactly this is a systemic issue. You can't ask the system to fix the system, and I appreciate you saying that you're committed to having an outside group come in, but I would very much ask you to make sure that you're getting 110% student body and survivor support, and choosing that outside. It can't be.
I would agree completely. The fact is that the only way this can work is if there are representatives from the student body who are working with us to find the right group. Because the group can come in and do a lot, but if people didn't agree from the beginning that it was a group that could be trusted by everybody, it would not work. I agree with that completely. And I will say this, some of you know me, it has not been the intention to hide anything. I need to say that. But this is where I give the apology. We could have been giving statistics and more information on what has happened in recent years so people could have a sense of both the challenges, the progress we made, and what some have said, and even the responses from the last survey that was done. Because I'm going to ask you to help us with all of that. So we'll come up with a structure, and I'm saying to you, one of the things you can do for the town hall meeting is have some specific suggestions as we go through some of the things that you're talking about. You gave some great, some are here now about the training, about the card, for example. We've talked about health services and some things, right? We can. These are things that students can feel and see immediately.
Are these things that we can have your verbal word on that we will be tackling within the next few months? Like any demands on the list other than the rebuilding committee? Are there things that you can promise that will be tackled?
We're going to attack all of those specific recommendations other than the personnel and legal. Cannot. I mean, and we can. But what I would like is for you to get some training and see what the challenges are, because they're challenges for us, but they're also challenges for you. Because if somebody's career is hurt, they can sue all of us. That's real. If you want to see an example of that, go to the Duke situation and the millions of dollars and the people who were sued. That's just real. It really is. So we have to be careful legally how we deal with that. But other than that issue, we can make a lot of progress. You have my word.
If I may, again, briefly,
Sure.
To some extent, like, I understand the importance of legality, but there's also an issue of creating a safe environment on campus.
Yes.
Like, there's legal issues, of course, to say maybe removing some of the people we've asked to be
Right,
removed.
right.
But without those people being removed, then we won't have a safe environment on campus. We won't have a campus environment conducive to supporting survivors until these people are gone.
Now, I would say this, and I want you to hear me saying this. I am committed to having student representation in looking at what we do, even as we bring the outside people in, to make sure we want people to feel safe. And there are ways of doing that. We began working with the We Believe You group yesterday, and we made some progress, and we'll make more progress. And a part of it will have to do with involvement with different offices and making sure that we listen to the specificity with regard to safety issues. And I think so. Your question about can I make a commitment that this is talking about the next few months? Oh, definitely. Oh, definitely. We're talking about progress. Yeah. And by the time of the town hall meeting, I will have gone through it with people, and we can give you some things. We really will.
Dr. Hrabowski, do you have a response to what's been alleged against the UMBC Police Department, and do you have any plans for altering or working within or without the UMBC Police Department about their misconduct regarding sexual assault allegations?
Yes.
Because when you talk about statistics,
Right.
I was sexually assaulted my freshman year here,
Okay.
and I did not report it to UMBC Police, so I would not be included in those statistics.
Okay.
But I did get to join the Voices Against Violence support group, which was then
Yes.
dismantled here at UMBC.
Okay.
So then when I hear you talk about communication, that's a
Yes.
bit confusing for me, because
Yes.
that was a survivor support group here
Yes.
that was then taken away, in which one person could be in anonymity.
Yes. Anonymity.
Anonymity,
Mhm.
thank
Yeah,
you, without reporting to UMBC
Sure.
police.
Yep.
In my freshman year, my roommate was assaulted, and a video of her was circulated around the campus. And UMBC police came to our door to talk to her, but they
Yes.
then discouraged her
Yeah.
from reporting and pursuing judicial action against her abuser, the person who assaulted her. So I'm interested in how you're
Yes.
planning on working with UMBC police and making changes there, because
Yes.
that's a huge issue in how survivors are being encouraged or rather discouraged to
It's an
pursue
excellent
their
point.
assaulters.
It's an excellent point. You talked about training. I think the whole campus, faculty, students, staff, administration, all of us need much more training. And I accept that. I accept that. And the way you'll see whether or not I'm real about it is to see what happens in the next few months. And I think there should be updates, milestones, right? Opportunities for people to come together. I mean, my goal will be during this semester, this will become the priority. And right now, let me just say this. Let me look in everybody's face and say this. After 30 years at UMBC, my biggest challenge right now is to regain the trust of the campus, of the students, so that you can see what we say we're going to do, we do. Okay?
Excuse me,
And hold
Dr.
us to that.
Dabrowski.
Please hold us to that. Okay?
Why wasn't
Absolutely
that
too.
your biggest goal a year ago when I interviewed you?
Yes,
and I mentioned
it was my
you
goal.
know
And
that
I
the
tried to
school
get you
was
to come and
under
you did not. Excuse
That's
me,
false.
you did
Now
not.
You're turning this around about
No,
a
I was
student
trying to get you to come and
journalist.
listen to the process. You wouldn't do that. I said, please talk to them about the process and let me know. You never did.
I didn't get a concrete answer from Bobby at the time. I was a student. I didn't know how to be a journalist. I've been working in my field and now I know
Sure.
what I'm doing.
Sure.
And now I'm back to finish what I started before I knew how to do it properly.
Right.
And I told you.
Well,
I
you have a
told
chance
you
now.
that
You
there
have a
was
chance now
student
to see what we do.
who
We
had
tried
no
our best.
accountability
I
for
hear what
that
you're
rape
saying.
kit being thrown out of student judicial.
Right.
UMBC was currently under federal investigation, and you said no changes needed to be made. You said absolutely not when I asked you if we needed more training.
Yes.
You
yes.
said
At
absolutely
that time,
not
we
when I
were
asked if
doing
anything
training.
needed to change.
We were doing training. If you go back, we can give you the data to show the training we're doing. Clearly, it's not enough. I accept that. I accept it. There's more we have to do. I accept that.
So
Okay.
was it this
At that
lawsuit or these
time,
100 students in
no,
your
no, no,
office
no,
that
no,
made
no,
you
no.
change your
I'll tell you
minds?
what changed my mind when I listened yesterday. Before today, when I listened yesterday to a number of survivors and heard them saying that they didn't feel safe, and I said to my colleagues, we got more work to do.
I told you I didn't feel safe on the phone a year ago.
You were graduating, and I tried to get you to Bobby, and you didn't go.
You didn't ask me for. That doesn't matter. I didn't know how to follow
don't know
through
how to-
with
I
that
don't know
at
what
the
else I can
time.
say. I was
This-
trying to
it's
help
about,
you.
I'm talking about the interview we had that day and what you said in that interview, not anything that happened
I really asked you to
afterwards.
go. I said, learn what we're doing, and then let's talk. You never went.
And I understand.
So
what
I'm being
part of
honest.
that
I'm being truthful. I
process
tried.
was.
I asked her to go. I said, please
This
go and talk to
isn't
them, and then
about
we can talk.
A
And you never
college
did.
student not knowing how to
excuse
be a
me.
reporter.
Sorry.
This is about what you said that day.
Dr.
I accept
Hrabowski,
it.
you're
I'm sorry.
both of
Go
you
ahead,
are
please.
attacking each
Please.
other, and
You're right. You're right.
I'm a freshman, and I
Yeah.
just feel very uncomfortable in the
Okay,
situation because
sure.
you're making her on the verge of
Oh, no.
crying.
Yes. yes.
If you saw that, and I get that you can't do a lot of legal stuff like
Yes.
firing or suspending people.
Sure.
I get that there's legal issues with that,
Yeah.
but you could still make a commitment to like doing things like expanding the counseling center, and you
Yes.
could do that
Yes.
by like redistributing money. Maybe fireworks on the first day of school for freshmen
Right.
aren't necessary.
Maybe the
Expense.
cop budget could be cut.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let me say this.
And
I
maybe
have,
having
and
more
I
diverse
apologize to you. I don't
police
mean
staff
to be, I don't mean to.
on campus is a great idea also.
We will go through some of the specific suggestions, and we will look at the support system, for example, whether it's counseling, health services. We can make a lot of progress. When I hear students saying they're not feeling safe, we have work to do. I accept that. We have work to do.
So do you admit that you were wrong a year ago and that you should have paid more attention to the issue when UMBC was already under federal investigation, and when you had a student call you on the phone and say, I don't feel safe, the school is under federal investigation, and right now it's in the press that this DNA evidence was thrown out of a student judicial process, and no one at student judicial could tell me who is responsible for that decision or why. At the time when you said that no changes needed to be made, now would you admit that you were wrong that day?
I was right in saying that as far as I knew, no changes needed to be made. Now I see we've got changes to make, and it may be about communication. It may be about external review to see what works and what does not. I get that. I do get that. At the time, I told you what I thought was the truth, is what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
So if there had been 100 people in your office when UMBC was under federal investigation in
Right.
2015,
Yes.
would you have made this your priority then?
Well, we did make it a priority. We want you to see how much money we did put into it. We talked with a lot of students at
But
that
you
time.
told me no
And we did
changes needed to be
invest,
made.
because we had just invested a lot of stuff in there. We thought it was working. We put in more lawyers. We put in another process. We had just done all of that. We thought we had done the right. That's what I started by saying. We thought we had done the right thing. Okay. Now it's clear what we have done is not enough. I get that. Okay. And I am willing to say we're going to do better. I am saying to all of you again, and to the freshmen, I appreciate you stopping me because I don't want to be rude to you. I really don't. It is not my intention to be rude.
This isn't about the fact that a junior in college didn't know how to follow through with the task of an investigative reporter. This is about the fact that a year ago I told you on the phone, I feel unsafe, there's no accountability in student judicial. I asked you if any changes needed to be made and you said absolutely not.
But what else did I say to you?
I want to ask, you say, you're talking a lot about listening to the students right now, but you didn't listen to her when she was on the phone interviewing you.
Oh, I really did, and that's why I said don't. I said please talk to, because you asked me about specific situations, and I was saying let's talk to the head of Title IX, and then let's get back together. And when I heard you had not, I said, did you try to reach her? And they said they had. So I wasn't finished with the conversation, but I wanted you to get more information on the specifics, because the specifics you were talking about I didn't know about.
You
So
said
the person says they don't feel